Hello there. This is Madeline from Madeline's Craft Room. And in the craft room tonight, we have a technique card, and that is our twisted ribbon technique. And I actually received this card from a swap that I attended, of course, when I was on stage in Vancouver. And when I did a video showing all my swap cards, my VIP crafters wanted to know how to make this card. So I am going to show you how to make some that are similar to this and with also a few variations. So hang on, and we're going to make this card together. Um, and you can see at the bottom of the screen, Madeline's Craft Room. You can see me there on YouTube or Pinterest, on Facebook. You can check out the classes that I have. I do card kits and Zoom classes, as well as I do in person. So hope you can join us, or even on my live streaming that I do every Thursday night. So let's get started. Let's see what the difference is. Now, I should tell you that this particular one, I believe, is called the double twisted. This would be the twisted ribbon, because what it kind of looks like is then the ribbon is just going back and forth and back and forth. And why I use this special paper is because I absolutely love it. And this is the new paper that's going to be in our January catalog, called the Dry Brushed Metallic 12 by 12 Specialty Designer Paper. And those attendees on stage, we actually got this free as one of the special gifts. And it comes with the two colors, and just loving those bright colors. So I wanted to showcase that on this one. And of course, on this particular card, I used Soft Succulent, which is the color that is matching with the special paper, as well as, of course, the gold. And I put a gold piece underneath. I've gold embossed, and I've got gold shimmer and the gold embellishments. Oh, I've lost one. Well, there was one more over here. It must be on my table. Okay. But anyway, you can see that it coordinates very well, and it looks very, very sharp. Now, there are different ways that you can do this other than the double and the single twisting. You can also use, of course, many different kinds of designer paper. And you can see here that I did a wider strip here, and this particular one I used a narrower strip. So that's, again, one variation. And what we're going to do is we are going to make one of these cards. So I've got a bunch of pieces here together. I'm going to use a white cardstock as my base. So I'm going to put that aside right now. And then we also have a red piece, which is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to put that aside for a little while, because this is the piece we really want to start working with. And again, this can be something very different in our cards, because you can make it wider. So I'm going to show you here this one, where I use the Pretty Prints designer paper in our Stampin' Up! Annual catalog. And I have made it wider, so you can see that it is wider. I think, let's see what the difference is. This particular one, I think, was 2.5. Yes, and this one is 2 1/4. So you can do it pretty much whatever width you want. And the other difference, and I should say here, if you can see, can you see the fern embossing folder? That's what I have put as an embossing in the back, but you can leave it plain as well. Like for instance, this card here that I got in the swap, the paper is not embossed at all. And then this one that I had done here, this one I used the embossing of the Time Worn, which I thought really added to the look of that card. So this one I used, of course, matching the Nature's Prints, and I just did a few die cuts and added a few rhinestones. So let's get busy on this card. So in order to get our paper, this also depends on what size of strips you want. So I'll do another narrow one, but I want to show you the difference. I have a few different papers here, because I don't want this bright colorful one. I want to be able to have a green printed, and it took me a while to figure out because sometimes it's the flip side, but you can see that's not the flip side. So this one here of the trees, I'm going to use the background so that that coordinates really well. And then I'm going to take our colorful, oh, that's another one of these. So I'm going to put that back over here. Got to find the right one. Okay, it must be this poinsettia one. I love the Boughs of Holly paper, designer paper. It is so pretty. So here we go. We've got this one, and then where is the other one? Oh, this one is the reverse side. So sometimes it's the flip side, and in this case, I had to find another one. I just found that the other one, um, there's a green one, and it wasn't the same greens. So I kind of like the combination of this the best. And that's the thing. You can play around and look at your different designer papers. And even if you don't make a full card, you can just practice on this little piece, and then that way it will give you an idea because it can be very different from whatever designer paper you use. And this is 5 1/4, so it's going to go the full length of the card. And like I said, with this one's 2 1/4, but you can do 2 1/2. You could even do 3. So what we're going to do with this paper is, again, using our little ruler, is we are, and you could score this one too, and then you don't have pencil lines. That is, again, totally up to you. And it also, oh boy, I know so many variations, but I just want to show you the different ways. So this particular one, I did every 3/4 of an inch. And this one was, I believe, done every inch. So you can see that the diamond in the middle is a little bit bigger. So I am going to try doing this one in the 1 inch. So you just want to make a little mark at the 1 inch mark. And for this one, we're actually going to cut it off. So it's going to have a little bit off on that side. So again, we're going to just mark our 1/4 inch where we're going to cut it off. And then this is going to be our 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's our 5. So where did I put my little, don't have my big one right beside me, so I'm just going to use my little guy here right now. Okay. Oops. So now we got the lines marked. And so what we want to do here is we want to take, and in this case, again, this is something different you can do. You can choose to put your print down first, or you can choose to put your solid. Personally, I kind of like the looks of the solid down below and the more printed design on the top. And excuse me. So that's what I'm going to show you here tonight. Now you see that I'm using a silicone mat. You know me, I always love using a silicone mat for gluing and for putting on my adhesive. But this is one project you really do need to use the silicone mat, because we have to glue off the pages or the page. And so with that, that's going to mean that we have a mess on our paper, and then it's going to stick to everything, and we don't want to do that. Also, a trick when you're using Stampin' Seal, sometimes when you start off, you can't get a good grip on it, and then you have to move it. This way you don't have to. You can start off the page and then just move onto your paper, and voila, it works. That's what's so magic about the silicone mat. So what we're going to do here, sticking to my fingers, is you have to make sure it does go over the page. You don't want it coming in here. And then you're going to go right up to the top. There's no line, but you can know that, of course, that is the top. And I would recommend you use scissors. Now, thankfully, my scissors, as you can see, are pretty gluey already. About once a month, I go through all my scissors and my blocks, and I give everything a good cleanup with either the hand sanitizer or with Goo Gone. And it's time, obviously. Those scissors are dirty, but that's okay because they can be easily cleaned up. So, what we're going to do, and that way you just have one pair of scissors that you're going to do that with. So on this case, again, we're going to start right on that pencil line, and then you're going to move it up so that you see again the top of that pencil line. And do I have enough sticky? I do for this particular one. Okay, so basically we have it like that. And now I'm going to put some more Stampin' Seal. So again, start off and then it will work really easily. You know what? I did the wrong side, didn't I? I have to save that one for later. Good thing we're going to use that one anyway. And I forgot to do green. Oh, so I usually don't edit my videos because you know what? We all make mistakes, and this way you can see how to fix them. Thankfully, when you catch it with Stampin' Seal right at the beginning, you can adjust it right away. And it left a little mark, but we're going to put the paper exactly in the same spot, so it will not matter because it needs to be sticky there anyway. So what we're going to do is put the green one, and now I'm just going to cut it over there so that it doesn't stick over here. Okay, now we're going to take this paper and let's see if it, oh yes, and sometimes this is perfect. Where we have cut will work perfectly as it did in this one. So we're just going to keep going, red, green, red, and now we're going to do the green again. And here again, we can use the one that we cut off that's going to be the perfect size. And now we'll snip this off. And now we need another red. That one has the poinsettia, so we don't want that one. Okay, now this one, we're going to go. So you can see why the use of the silicone mat is a very practical tool to use. I love it for any project, actually. I have a video that I have done with the silicone mat of many different uses that you can use the silicone mat for. And so if you check out my YouTube channel, you will be amazed what all you can do with this special mat. Now, I didn't draw the line there, but you know, I'm going to guess. I am going to put, yes, you can because it's right at the end there. Okay. Oops. See, I did it again. I love my red. Nope, we don't want red. We want green. Oops, it didn't start off the edge. Okay, so now we're going to put this and see how the line is right there. So we want that line to go there, and then we want this just to be straight, and it's straight. Okay, so now we're going to do the trimming, and I find it is definitely easier if you flip it around, and then that way you can get all the marks. Make sure that we stick all those little pieces into the garbage can so that they're not going to be sticking onto our card and other things. I'm going to put that over there. It's sticking to my scissors already. That's why I clean up tonight on scissors. It's actually really easy to do. You can use paper towels when you're cleaning up and using the hand sanitizer. I like to reuse a microfiber cloth that I just use for cleaning my blocks and tools, and it works really well. It's red, and so I know it's not the same color as my other microfiber cloths. So here you can see now I have alternated the green and the red, and they are in the more subtle plain pattern. And so now what we want to do is we are going to use the printed side, And now we are going to go the opposite direction. So let's see if I can get this on here. Actually, I think this one will fit perfect. We've got to get it right in that corner and right in that corner. Okay. Snip. Okay. This one might have a little bit of glue still on it, so I'm going to use that side. Now we're going to put some Stampin' Seal on this side. Okay, now let's have a look. If we go, again, make sure, don't put it to where it's going to be too chintzy and then you don't get the whole thing covered. You got to cover the whole piece there. Okay. So then we're going to go that way. And I'm only snipping these off because I'm reusing the strip until it gets too short. So here we go again. We're going to take that corner and put that there and put it into this corner. Hard to say. That one might do a little end, but so now we're going to, as you see, we're going red, green, red, green. I think this one was the green one. Yep. So I think we can do one more. So again, right in that corner and right to this corner. And snip that off. And I think we're going to need, unless this is a, oh wait, we got another piece here. And it's attached to my lid for my Stampin' Seal. That's the problem when you get a little bit of glue on here. Actually, I think that might be enough. Yeah, it's going to go the wrong way though. Or is it? Yeah, that's okay. We're going to go right here. And then this isn't the right way. Nope. That's okay. We got to do the other side. We don't want the solid red. Print side. Okay, so here we go. Print side. Now we need, do I have a little piece? Yes, up here. I had a little piece that I could possibly, oh boy, it's going to be just a tiny little piece. I don't even know if it's going to be worth it. Let's have a look. I think I'm going to cut this off first. So again, if you use the back of the card, the little strip we're using, it really does help because then you can very clearly, you may not be able to see that on the dark silicone mat, but you can see this makes it really easy now to just use the white as a guide and just go along and snip, snip. And there we have it. So let's have a look now. So this is our strip, and we're going to bring in our pieces here. So what we'll do first is we're going to glue this, or since we got the Stampin' Seal out, we'll just use the Stampin' Seal. So we'll put adhesive on each side. Oh, what happened here? I'm sticking. I think this is the end. I was just going to say, something's looking different. Okay. The end of Stampin' Seal. Good thing we got other alternatives. Wow. Almost perfect timing. All right. So now we're going to take this and center this right in the front of our card. Go up a little bit more. Okay. So now we want to take this piece, and you know, because it is so close to that edge, oops, I am just going to snip that. Rather than gluing a tiny little strip, I am just going to cut that little piece off. Just like that. Okay. So then now we have this piece. Now you could put that on there like that. And that's what they did in this card. I have been using another piece of white paper to add a little more contrast. So let's see what this would look like. That looks like a different, I've got vanilla. Well, that's not going to work. They're all vanilla here. Ah, hang on. I have to restock. That's white. That looks a whole lot better than vanilla. Okay. So what I do is I have my card bases and my card fronts, which is the 4 by 5 and a quarter. I actually have them cut at the printers because I use them so much. And if you put quite a few stacks together, they only charge you per cut. And it just helps me so that I'm not forever cutting, especially for all my classes. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to leave a tiny little strip. So again, back to our silicone mat, make sure you put it on the mat, and then we're going to use the adhesive. And the wonderful thing, in case you don't know, if you get glue on your mat, the marvelous thing is that when it dries, you can just rub it right off and it just peels right off. It is so easy to clean. Whoops, wrong one. So we want to put this on here, and I'm just going to leave a little bit of a border around it. And then I'm going to take my little mini here again one more time. And maybe I should be using my big one so I don't cut wrong, but I think I did it. Except for I was being too nervous at the beginning. There we go. All right. So, let's see, it's bugging me now with the glue on there. Let's see by the time we're finished if I can show you what it looks like. Okay. So there we go. We could go and put that on there like that. So as I mentioned, you could have embossed this piece if you like the looks of embossing, which I absolutely do. We have so many amazing embossing folders, and they're always one of my first go-tos. I love embossing folders. So, but not in this case. This case, we're going to put this down. Oops, and center it. Okay, so we're going to put it like that. And you can see how if you had it wider, then it would be wider. If you had it narrower, like this is still wider than what this crafter used. So again, it's a very personal thing. And then what I wanted to do is use the decorative punch. And again, of all times to run out of the white paper. Good thing it's not very far. I'm going to try punching one of these because I'm thinking that, and you probably have seen this beautiful Boughs of Holly paper. It is so pretty. You've got this, this one here with the trees, and you've got the little poinsettias, and then you've got the large poinsettias, which we used. And then we have this design, and then we have still a few more. We have this design, and then we have the poinsettias. And as you can see, you can't see, I've cut one out here. So you can fussy cut it out if you like. I just wanted to add it to our beautiful card. I know we could put a sentiment and ribbon like this lady did, but I was going to just do this one a little bit different. So I was thinking what I would do is I would just attach this onto the circle. So I'm not going to put it everywhere. I'm just going to put some adhesive there in the middle. And then we're going to put this down here like this. And actually you can decide if you want it up or down. I think actually that looks good. I'm going to move that just out of the way for a minute. And I feel that we need to pop this. So when you want to add some texture and pop things, we have these lovely dimensionals, which are so wonderful to be able to pop up your special. Oh, my fingers don't want to work tonight. Whatever, you can pop up your sentiment or your um, flower or your label, like I'm doing here. Um, just wonderful way to add that texture. And I just love the looks of it. And I love to pop things on my cards. So here we go. Now you can decide where you want to put it, near the top, in the middle, near the bottom. I think this time, where am I going to put it? I think I like those red berries there. So I think I'm going to put it maybe right there, about centered. So there we go. Whoops, got to get you in screen there. So there we have that card. So of course, we got to finish off our card. And I thought what would look lovely is these iridescent pearls. So let's use our Picket tool. I love using the putty side to just give the pearl or embellishment a little dazzle. And let's see where we're going to put it. Whew, decisions. Maybe one over here. And I want to put one in there, but I don't know if I should. I think I won't. And then I think I'll just put another one maybe over here. So there we go. We've got some embellishments on, and I still have, I believe, another card to show you. So this is the one that I received from my swap card, and this is the one that we changed it. So I'm just giving you lots of, oh here, this dry now. Now I can show you. See how you can just rub it off and it's gone. So that's the beauty of a silicone mat. Okay, so here again is some changes. So then you can do the two double tones, so it's more like a double twisted ribbon, or you can do a wider rather than a narrower. You can mat your double wrist twisted ribbon. You can use a sentiment, or you can just put a die, or in this case, cut out DSP. So those are two different ways. And of course, you saw this one that I did, and I have used the beautiful Sun Prints paper. I love the nature prints, the Sun Prints paper, but I love that this one gives us a few other colors. And of course, I love Blackberry Bliss. So I had to make one like that. And of course, as I've shown you this one already, oh boy, I am going to love that metallic paper. So isn't that ever showy? So pretty. And then I had one more, and here it's hiding under everything. I decided to take one more twist to it. So here we have the double ribbon. So this is kind of like what we did before. And you can see the difference here is, again, I went 3/4 inch and I went to the 1 inch here again. But this time I decided to switch it, and then the same strip, well, I used the poinsettia. Here we go. This is, no, it isn't. Anyway, I guess I don't have any more. But that's basically what I did. I used the same strip and I put it underneath on each side of my card, and then I put my layered piece. And this one, I've actually double layered it. So I have the piece that I've worked on with the white cardstock, and then I matted it with red. And then I matted it with the shaded spruce. And then, of course, my paper strip. I cut out one extra for the front or top and bottom of the card. And then I matted all of that onto the shaded spruce, and of course then onto a white cardstock. So here I've taken my punch, and the punch, what I did, it's our beautiful homemade tag, one of my favorite punches. And I am so thrilled that it is actually going to stay into the new January catalog. The stamp set isn't, but the homemade tag will stay. And so what I did with this one is I cut out the white and then I also cut one out in green. But because it doesn't layer, I had to make it layer. So I don't know if you can see it on there. All I did was cut the green one in half and just move this one over a bit and this one out a bit. And there we have a beautiful Christmas card with the beautiful red rhinestones, my favorite. And there we have another card. So there are many ways to do the twisted ribbon or the double twisted ribbon. And in these cases, these are the Christmas cards. But then we don't have to leave it at Christmas cards. Of course, can be any time of the year. So then we have a thinking of you that I've made or you're on my mind. And again, just variations. So I would love to see if you make one of these cards and you have any questions, please let me know. Or if you have any more ideas, or I'd love to see what you make. So just let me know on madelinescraftroom.net or on my Facebook, private message me, and I would love to help you in any way that I can. But hopefully, I've given you some inspiration tonight. And thank you for joining me. Bye for now. Whoops, doesn't want to turn off.